Okay, it is Monday, April 5th, and this is the Kubernetes SIG cloud provider Azure Subproject community meeting. And as a meeting in the Kubernetes community, we'll follow the community code of conduct and be nice to each other. This meeting is being recorded and will be uploaded to YouTube. I know I'm behind on uploading the last two meetings. I'll get on that and do this one along with the prior two, so folks can catch up if anybody's interested in seeing what we talked about in the last two meetings. I will share my screen. So right now it's you and I, Peng Fei. I'll share the agenda. Feel free to add anything to the agenda. Actually, let me put the agenda link in the chat too.
Yeah, I could say the green now.
Okay, great. Let's put it in the chat in case anybody else joins. Well, it's always so hard to find the chat again once you shared your screen. I use so many different tools. I don't know how to use Zoom anymore. I can't find it right now. Oh, there it is. In case somebody joins. So I'll take notes too, since it's just the two of us. And okay. So let's start. First, is anybody new here? No, it's you and me. We know each other. I added your request that you reached out to me earlier to review open pull requests to the agenda. But first, let's see, is there any news that we should share with anybody who's watching the recording? I know that the blobfuse driver is now in good shape and ready for people to use. I had added that before. Is there any other news you want to share, Peng Fei?
No, but we are fixing a few bugs in Kubernetes repo, and some of them are still pending on approval. So if we could make them merged, then that should be some news. So
that's a query that you shared with me is
right. So this query is all the Charpic PRs into Kubernetes repo. The oldest one is from January, so it has been opened for a few months, but still didn't get approved. The second one, the last one still needs some rebate, so I think Andy would address it later. But for the Charpics, the second one, yeah. So we have a few PS like this one fixed in other tree cloud provider first, and then we want traffic to Kubernetes. But the owners didn't respond. I'm not sure when would they respond, but for this issue, it has been a few months.
Yeah. Okay. So we're waiting for probably Chef Taco or Andy. Yeah. Okay. And they haven't responded. So have you been able? You probably haven't been able to show up to any of the cloud provider meetings. I haven't either. They've conflicted with a bunch of other work meetings lately. It's been very hard to get to them. So I will reach out of band during work hours to Andy and why am I forgetting his name? It's terrible. Chef Taco. And see if we can get some attention on these. In this case, what is the user impact?
The
offline.
impact
Okay.
is so for example for this one, there's some issues. So if you open the link, not all node posts are cleaned up on ILB deletion. So when you delete the internal load balancer, that would be an issue that the ILB backend repo is not cleaned up on the all VMSS. So we should ensure all the VMSS are cleaned up correctly. It's especially for the deletion, for
Okay.
the last service deletion.
And it looks like it's like an uncontroversial set of changes that are really bound only to BMSS stuff. So, okay, that should be easy. Okay, and then this one also looks ready to merge and is fairly old too. SMB mounts.
SMB mount issue. So this should be waiting for 6 storage approval.
And the reviewers here, Jingshu.
Jingshu, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, all of this is just sort of getting people's attention. This one looks like it has, these two look like they have some rebates needed.
Yeah, and this one is opened by itself, so it is also a chart pick from auto tree to in tree, but it not get any response yet from the owners.
Yeah, it looks like it might need a rebase again.
Not. Yeah, probably need another rebase because the test job has been changed
since then. Yeah.
So those jobs would keep failing.
Okay, well I'll ping Cecile on that. This one.
Add timeout to ACR credential provider. I didn't look at this PI yet. I think I need to review it first.
Okay.
Andy have already looked at.
Okay, this is still waiting. He wanted a review from Cal. I can pick Cal too. This one's very recent.
Yeah.
And this one looks.
And this one is to fix the node public IP not showing issue from the intent metadata. So this has been an issue for a long time because when we're using standard load balancer, the IP address is not showing from the intent metadata. But now this data is available within a different endpoint. It is inside the load balancer endpoint. So the PR adding another HTTP request to instance method service.
Was this a change in
the public IP?
Sorry, was this a change in the CRP API?
Not CRP API. It's IMDS instance metadata API.
Okay, and so a new version of this caused this regression.
It's a different endpoint to provide the same data.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so this one's pretty significant to shift to a new endpoint.
Yeah.
Were there any objections about that? Nobody
No one responded.
Okay. And this one has test
Yeah, and
issue.
this one is a bug introduced in 120. So the problem is the user provisioned public IP would be removed when they delete a service.
Okay, so it looks like there's a question about whether or not oh, this is the change?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw this, and so he just answered. Okay, this one looks like at least it's getting attention and moving. Why is that not happening for the other ones? That's my fundamental question.
Yeah, so the first three are same in different branch, in master 120 and 121.
Yeah. Okay. All right, I think I know what to do to go have a conversation with cloud provider, and then we have the one.
Yeah, and we need to ensure I think the next topic deadline is just 2 or 3 days. So it's better we could get approval in next 2 or 3 days. If not, we would need another month for the topic for the patch release.
Okay. I'll start a thread on that.
So the next traffic deadline is 3 days later.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, I know what to do. What other issues should we discuss? Should we take a look at the test boards or backlog?
Yeah, I think we should have a look at the test grid. So I think the issue there there are some long running failing jobs. For example, the capacity. I'm not sure whether they have been fixed or not now.
Let's see. So I rarely go from this. I don't have the URL.
Yeah, you could find the provider error.
Provider
error.
Provider Azure. There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking pretty red.
Yeah, so the some jobs are always filling.
Sorry, which ones?
So for example, if you look at which, let me think, master signal. Yeah, there are some jobs always failing. So the capacity air disk machine pool, the capacity air disk, the disk stack are always failing.
And the conformance is even flaky.
Yeah, the conformance that should be fixed now, I think. It is growing in the latest run.
Oh yeah, that's okay. So it should look good from now. So in another day or so, this should. Okay, so the ones we need to focus on are the CAPZ related ones, and that's not surprising. I mean, we just created these, so
yeah.
So they're new. And it looks like it's passed for the recent time, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, and there are also some failures from the cloud provider error test. So there's some template issues there when we enable multiple zone. Yes,
This one?
Yeah. So if you check the error autoscaling or error autoscaling multiple, it is always failing. This is because the ACAS engine generated template have some issue. So we couldn't deploy its cluster. But we heard such kind of issue won't be fixed in ACAS engine. So
the goal is to migrate to CAPZ. I guess the question is timing, right? When can these tests move to CAPZ, or should we fix them here? I feel like we should have a good signal before we even move them.
Yeah, I agree. So, but for now, it's a hard time. So,
yeah. So who can fix the template? I think is the fundamental question. Like, whose responsibility is it to understand that this is failing all the time and go and fix the template so that we get a proper cluster to test the functionality?
Yeah.
So I wonder if we should have a separate discussion about triaging these kinds of failures. I'll chat with Rita and Ernest about that tomorrow.
Okay, great.
Anything else you want to call my attention to?
No, I think that's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I'll talk quickly also about the, we started having a meeting every other meeting in another time zone. So we've had one instance of a Thursday meeting that's in a Europe-friendly time zone. And so anybody who's watching the recording here on Thursdays, check the community calendar. We have a meeting at a time that's actually friendly to Europe afternoons and just morning in North America. And we did get a new participant from Giant Swarm, who's starting to pay attention to the Azure cloud provider. He's working on cluster API provider for Azure as well, and is going to start contributing to the cloud provider. And that's very exciting, and we want to support him in doing that. I expect that we'll probably get some other folks there. And so what I plan to do for those meetings is also review any news that comes out of the meetings we have at this time, in case folks didn't go and watch the recording or study the notes. So Peng Fei, if there's anything you want me to convey to the sort of other half of the cloud provider community, feel free to either add it into the notes or send me an offline message, and I'll make sure that message gets out.
Yeah, sure. So I think so for in the future, if there are any new error related issue, the new issue should be opened in cloud provider error repo. So it would be get noticed by us more faster, because there are much less issues in a separate repo.
Okay, I'll put a note in the meeting notes about that. Please open new issues in out of tree cloud provider issue queue.
And let me share the link. Oh.
Okay, got it. I will make sure I add that to the notes. Thank you.
Yeah, great.
All right, have a great day. Unless there's anything else we want to cover.
Yeah, I think that's all.
Okay. Take care. See you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.